Welcome back to the Middle-Aged Musician Podcast. Coming to you live from downtown Nashville, Tennessee, where I've been down on Broadway listening to a few local bands and had some good times enjoying some local music, mostly just three-piece bands, high energy kind of stuff. Places like Morgan Wallen's and Margaritaville Cafe, which that was just an acoustic soloist there, which was actually better than the band, in my opinion, over at Morgan Wallen's, but different crowds and different vibe there. But this podcast today is not about Nashville and the music scene there, although eventually I will do one. But I wanted to continue the conversation about cruise ships and the bands that work there. If you've ever been on a cruise and enjoyed the live music in the theaters or in the lounges or by the pool, you've seen these pros in action. But what's it really like behind the scenes? Today, I'm going to break it down using a real moment captured on a cruise ship stage, a tight professional performance in an intimate theater setting with an audience enjoying the show from their seats. Let me set the scene for you. From the video that I'm referencing, it's an evening on a cruise ship. The house lights are dimmed, spotlights are cutting through the warm wooden interior of the theater, and in the foreground you see the backs of the audience's members' heads in the comfortable upholstered seats. Out on the stage is a female lead singer, and she's certainly dapped out, and she's glowing under the green and purple stage lights, holding her wireless mic, pouring her heart into the song. Behind her and to the side, the male singer, and then behind them, you've got the bass player, lead guitarist, and the drummer. And they were obviously very polished, very tight sound clicking in as they're singing, I Want to Know, Have You Ever Seen the Rain? And this is the kind of show that a cruise ship musician delivers typically every night, night after night. So let's talk about what it actually takes to land and keep a gig like this. First, the audition process. Cruise lines like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, or Disney don't just hire anyone. You typically submit a video and then you show that you can play multiple styles, maybe pop, rock, Broadway, jazz, standards, Latin, current top 40. Versatility is always keen because one night you might be backing a production show with choreography and costumes, and the next you're in a piano bar taking a request or playing a pool deck party. Once you're hired, contracts usually run 6 to 9 months at sea. Pay is decent, often better than many land-based gigs when you factor in that your room and board are covered. Plus, you get to travel the world for free. But it's not a vacation. There is a daily reality to ship life. Rehearsals. Expect intense band rehearsals when you first join. The music director runs a very tight chart. Everyone needs to be able to read music fairly well and adapt pretty quickly. And this is referencing the bands that really work the shows, work for the performers, maybe do the live karaoke sessions. This doesn't necessarily apply to the musicians, single musicians, or duets or trios like the Filipino band that I had that were playing their own sets. But this part would apply to that. The show schedule. You might play 2 to 4 shows per night across different venues on the ship. Sometimes a typical evening could include a main theater production at 7 and 9, then a late night set in the lounge until 1. Some ships have duos, trios, or full bands rotating through different bars or theaters. One set might be classic, the next might be classic rock, the next might be a tribute to Motown or a modern pop act. In the video, the singer is fully committed to a good old song from the 70s and the 80s. I think that's when I Want to Know, Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Maybe that's just a pure 70s. I'll have to look that up. And that level of a performance energy that she has is pretty strong. There are pros and cons. Let's be honest. What are the pros? The travel. You wake up every day in a new port, almost. You're in the Caribbean islands, Mediterranean cities, Alaskan glaciers. You get to see a lot of the terrain as you're exploring. There's camaraderie. The band becomes your family. You eat together, you rehearse together, you blow off steam together. There's steady work, No chasing gigs or wondering if you'll get paid. Contracts provide stability and safety, peace of mind, that stuff that freelance musicians really look for. And stage time. You get to perform high quality shows with good production values, lights, sounds, and an appreciative audience that's typically in a good mood. In the video, you can see this coming through with this girl singing. Everybody is enjoying themselves. She's smiling. She's swaying as she's singing the song. It's a great environment. The challenges. Cabin life is pretty tough. Sometimes it's shared or a small single cabin, and seasickness can hit you hard, especially in rough weather. Isolation. You're away from your family. You're away from your friends, sometimes for months, even maybe a year at a time. And internet at sea is expensive and very spotty. Repetition. You're playing the same set list over and over, and it can get mentally taxing. You have to keep the energy fresh for every audience. Cruise lines, the rules. They have strict policies. No heavy drinking on duty. You got to be professional in your appearance standards. And you're essentially on 24/7 as a crew member. And then there's the Groundhog Day effect. Every week can start to feel similar as the ship repeats its itinerary. So, here's some tips to think about if you're thinking about pursuing this type of gig. Number one, build a strong demo video. Film yourself playing a variety of styles with good energy. Number two, be prepared to play multiple instruments if possible. Multi-instrumentalists get priority. Work on your showmanship. Look at the singer in the video. She's not just singing, she's performing, she's moving, connecting with the audience and her bandmate. Get comfortable reading charts and playing in a tight ensemble if that's the type of role that you're seeking. Precision matters when you're doing multiple shows back to back. So keep your mind and your eyes and your chops fresh. And research the specific cruise lines. Some focus more on big production shows, others on guest entertainers or lounge music. Well, whether you're a musician dreaming of life at sea or just a passenger who loves the live music on your next cruise, remember, behind every smooth performance is a team of dedicated pros making it look effortless. If you've worked on a cruise ship or have questions about the gig, drop a comment or send me a message. I'd love to hear your stories. Okay, well, thanks for listening to The Middle-Aged Musician. And until next time, you keep everything sharp, keep going at it, keep working hard. It's not going to